Good evening, everyone, and welcome back for another thrilling, exciting episode of what? Transplant Talk with Nashonda. I am so glad you all came back again. Let's get those numbers up. Let's share, please. And thank you all again for watching Transplant Talk with Nashonda. And today is Thursday, August 13th, and I'm super excited about our story today, our guest today, Mr. Raynaldo Alexander, and he is coming to us live, which is always good. We will talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Listen, he has so many slashes behind his name. Okay, so yes, he is a kidney recipient. Yes, he's a father. Yes, he's a former firefighter. Yes, he's a former veteran. He's also a motivational speaker, and the list just keeps going and going and going. So I was definitely excited and delighted when he said yes. I gave an open invitation, like, sir, you can come to my show anytime. And so he agreed to come and speak on our show today. I want to tell you about something really interesting. I actually went to the dentist today. And speaking to the dentist, how many of you all knew that the dentist helps also in the decision on you receiving a transplant, because your mouth, your gums and everything has to be healthy. And it was just so interesting. And I do remember having to go through that procedure of making sure that there were no cavities, making sure, you didn't need a root canal or any type of surgery you needed to do. It would need to have been done before having your transplant. I also remember a good friend, Roy, who was a heart transplant recipient, although he recently passed away. He removed all of his teeth in order to have his heart transplant. And I thought, wow, that is a bit extreme, but you just never know what needs to happen. So while you all are washing your hands, make sure you're brushing, you're flossing, because who knew that was definitely part of the journey that you have to go through in order to receive a transplant, at least a heart transplant. I know we definitely had to look into that and make sure that everything was okay. So also, how you teachers went back to school, y'all pray for us. Okay, y'all really pray for us. I've had a mask on all day. I ain't liking it. I'm telling you right now, I don't like this mask. I can't breathe with it on. And to go all day without it, I am not a fan, but I need a job. But I'm not a fan of it. So I hope whoever comes up with the virus to be able to, whoever comes up with whatever remedy it is to get this virus done, it needs to be done quickly. All right. So without any further ado, I want to bring on Mr. Ray. I'm going to call him Ray. Mr. Ray Alexander, our guest for the evening. Hello, Ray.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, great. How are you?
I tell you, I'm good. It's been a long, busy day, but I'm good. I wouldn't
Oh,
miss this for the world.
oh, thank you. Now, I'm telling you guys, he has been busy. He's been very, very busy. Um, along with his occupation, he's been on two shows now. He now has his own show, and you can see it here scrolling at the bottom. Mr. Ray Alexander, Finding Your Wheel to Survive. And it just kicked off this week. So, congratulations, my brother, on your new show.
Thank you.
And much success to you. And we just plan to do big things, just taking over the transplant life or transplant talk community, because the word needs to definitely get out of what's happening and what's needed. So, Mr. Ray, let me get all in your business. Okay. Let's talk about how
Uh,
let's talk about how let's talk about your childhood. What were you like as a child? What were you doing before you needed a kidney transplant?
Uh, well, growing up as a child, I was raised by my mom, single parent home.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in the projects. From there to
Uh-oh. He's gonna come back. Okay.
am I here?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, and we moved out the projects to a kind of dilapidated house. Just excited to be out the projects. Uh, Grew up in Mansfield, Louisiana. After I graduated high school, I went to the Marine Corps where I served 4 years stationed in Camp Pendleton. I went overseas a few times, and that would kind of build me up to childhood.
Okay. Okay. And so you went through your childhood. You're now an adult. And um, how were you told you needed to have a kidney transplant?
Well, shortly after I was honorably discharged out of the Marine Corps, I got CDL license, and I was actually a trained firefighter. And just a routine physical, I was told that I was spilling protein through my urine.
Mhm.
I was in the top shape of my life. Great. I mean, I was almost the picture of health. To like I was chiseled out of a cartoon or something.
Okay.
And took a physical. I said I was spilling protein, and from there they wanted me to see a nephrologist.
Mhm.
And I was like, I feel fine. I feel great. Nothing's wrong with me. But I was a civil service employee, so I had to go see the specialist. They did a kidney biopsy, and the results were breathtaking. I had been operating on less than 10% of my kidneys at age 26.
Mm, Now, I want to touch on what you said about you being in very good health because so many people really think you're eating wrong, you're out drinking, you're out doing all the wrong things, but that's
I'm
not your
sorry.
story. Can you hear
I'm
me?
sorry. It says my mic is muted.
No, I hear you.
Can
I
you hear
hear
me?
you. I hear you just fine. I hear you. I can't hear you now. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. You're muted. I didn't. You back? Technology, boy,
I
I
have
tell
no
you.
idea what's going on.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. You're fine.
Let's see.
No, you're good. You're
Camera
good.
mic
You're good. Stay where you are. No,
is muted.
no, stay where you are. You're fine.
No, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Oh, I hear you just fine. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Oh my God. I still can't hear you.
You can't hear me. You want to go out and come back in? Oh, hi, Alex.
I'll log off and log back on.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, so while we're waiting for him to get his technology together, I just want to bring some things to your attention. And I would love for you all to follow us on YouTube with Transplant Talk. If you are a follower, please let us know. Give us some likes, give us some hearts, and you'll be able to do that. Also, I wanted to bring to your attention that every day in this country, 57 or 5,700 children and adults in Florida, okay, in Florida, are waiting for a life saving transplants. Okay, so across America, that number stands at about 113,000 people. Okay, what I want to know is how many of the viewers are, organ donors. If you would put in a comment a green heart or a blue heart to let me know that you're an organ donor, that would be great. If you would like to know how to become an organ donor, if you would please just go to donatelifeflorida.org and you can register there. They will ask you, how did you hear about us? You click other, and then you will click on Save 1,000 Lives. So again, Save 1,000 Lives is all over Florida. Thank you, Alex. Hey, Rod. Hey, Miss Gordon. Oh, Miss Gordon, my baby's a senior. I'm about to cry because my baby's a senior. But I think Ray is back. And thank you all for being organ donors. I just have to try to put out as much information as possible. And then I still have another announcement afterwards. I promise I won't hold you long. All right, are we good?
We're good. I have no idea what happened. I do
It's
apologize.
life. It is life and it is technology and it is okay. Oh, Maxine Ross, 21-year heart plant transplant. Oh, hello, Miss Ross. How are you? Thank you for watching the show. Um, okay, so Mr. Ray, do you even remember the question?
Well, you started out about asking me about my childhood, and then from there, you asked, how did I actually find out?
Right.
Uh,
And you told us through your job that you had to go through, those examinations or what have you. But also, you found that at 26. And this is something I know that really it definitely happens with all our African American men, or maybe it's just men in general. Y'all don't want to go to the doctor, you know, or you refuse to believe the report that the doctor is saying. So I don't know. I want you all to stop it. I want everybody. I want all men to stop it and go to the doctor and just kind of get yourself checked up or check on yourself because it's definitely important. But when you went through all of that at 26, how long were you like on the transplant list?
uh, I was on the transplant list about 6 years, actually. You here?
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I was on the transplant list about 6 years. So
Okay.
I actually got on the transplant list about uh a year before dialysis, and I was on dialysis for 5 years.
5
Yeah.
years out. Now that takes
Uh-huh.
a toll on the body. It takes a lot of the toll. How did you handle that, especially being, such a healthy, athletic person? How did you handle it?
Okay, so I I don't have a short answer for you, okay, because it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. Mind you, I was in the top shape of my life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I knew I didn't have any issues. I
Mm-hmm.
appeared to be the picture of health. So
Mm-hmm.
once I was told that they'll have to prepare me for dialysis, I went into zombie-like state. I went from depression to anger, to hurt, to being confused, and the cycle over and over and over again. I did not take it well. I saw it as a death sentence, and it
Mm-hmm.
devastated me. It devastated me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I appreciate about you is you being real. You know,
Yeah.
everybody think you got to keep a smile on your face and your head up. No, these are natural, raw feelings. And this is your life. This is your body. This is your health. And Lord, you just feel like my body is just really betraying. I feel
Yeah.
betrayed.
Right.
I really do. And during this time, you are you your husband, your father? Like what how is this your family dynamic? How did that affect your family?
Okay. Well, Uh, First, yes, I'm married. Um, wa- by this time, we have a newborn baby, which
Mm.
she was born after, 4 previous miscarriages. Actually,
Oh.
the doctors told us, to just stop trying. Something was going on. Didn't know why she couldn't carry term, but I literally delivered her spiritually. I learned how to pray, just covering and just warring because I believe that, the fruit of her womb was blessed. I believe that my seed was blessed, and so I absolutely believed in the word of God. I absolutely, I preached it, I taught it, I encouraged people. So when this happened, all of this went out the door, honestly.
Mm.
All of this went out
Mm.
the door. Like
Mhm.
I couldn't see, I couldn't hear spiritually. I didn't know what to do. And
Mhm.
so I started dialysis, and about 3 weeks in, the person who I thought was gonna be there with me, um, which was now my ex-wife, she left,
Mhm.
less than 1 month into dialysis. So I was devastated to the second degree.
Mm.
It literally almost like took me out. You
Oh
talking
yeah.
about mad,
Oh yeah. That was
hurt,
yeah.
embarrassed, everything.
Mm. Mm. Listen, yeah, yeah. That was a gut puncher,
Yeah.
right there. So on top of that, you say I have dialysis, my wife is gone, and I am mad, I'm depressed. I have all these emotions, and wow, like that's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
It's definitely to just kind of do it by yourself. And then to still have your kids and your job like that. That's a lot on a person's shoulders. But man, you persevered. Somewhere. What else happened to you within all of this time?
So by this time, I had to start working, so I wasn't working. Um, Depression was on me so heavy. I can recall sitting in my home, and I used to be embarrassed to say this, but I know it's gonna help somebody. But I have a 18-inch black Winchester 12 gauge pump shotgun, and I would sit and I would hold and I would just rock back and forth. I would rock back and forth. I was trying to decide if I wanted to carry the weight of dialysis and my ex-wife leaving on my shoulder. I didn't know. I didn't know if I wanted to live with that weight, with that hurt, with that pressure. I was struggling. I've always been strong. So I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to reach out to people. I barricaded myself. I barricaded myself in the house, and it's like first the blow of dialysis, then the blow of my ex-wife leaving. Man, it literally almost took me out mentally and physically. And just, maybe a couple months later, just trying to breathe, just trying to get myself together, just trying to make it, I got a call, and I was told that my house was engulfed in flames, that I lost everything I owned in a house fire. So first it was the dialysis, you know, second it was my, ex-wife actually leaving, and then to top it all off, I lost everything in a house fire.
Woohoo, Lord.
So I was done.
That's a lot, my brother. That's a
Yes.
lot. That's a lot. I don't know if you know we've all had that moment where we did, we felt like giving up, and like nothing you could say could just make me want to say, I this is what I really I really want to do this. I really want to be here. That is heavy.
Yes.
And as you all can see, he's still here. He didn't make that decision to take his life. So what I want you to see is that no matter what you're going through, and this Mr. Ray is saying, listen, I had a shotgun. I had a shotgun. That first of all, that's a lot. Your candidness, I applaud you. Just being able to share that with my little audience, just for you to be able to say that, I commend you, and I know you still have your faith and your trust and belief in God, but sometimes that load does get heavy. And so from 26 years old, divorce, the children, dialysis. When did your when did you receive your kidney?
Okay, I received I received the kidney transplant August 3rd, 2014, which is
Mhm.
actually also my birthday. So, uh, yes, it's amazing.
What?
But to even to grasp the concept of that, so much happened in between the moment I started dialysis up until that, because I went from depression and anger and hurt and being confused and questioning God. I went from that to, being on the machine. And while I still needed help, I was also asked to encourage and empower other people that wanted to give up on the
Mm,
machine. So once I got off,
mm,
I was encouraging other people when I myself needed encouraging. But the
mhm,
amazing thing happened. Eventually, the very words of encouragement that I gave them became the words that came back to me, that it
mm.
ultimately empowered me. So the turnaround point of my life was when my she was 3 at the time. So about 2 years I was just zombie like. Just didn't know if I was coming or going. My daughter, she hugged me one day and I broke. She hugged me as if she knew her daddy needed help. She hugged me as if, you know, I like, Dad, I got you. It's gonna be okay. Even though
Wow.
3 years old, there's no way she understood. But I broke. I cried, got choked up. But when I got up and my perception of my situation changed. I
Wow.
began I began to I began to believe in my heart that I was going to be the best that I could be, that I was going to live and I was going to live prosperous. Like I was going to be
Mm,
productive. So at that point, it was more important for me to live a productive life rather
mhm.
than a long unproductive life. So I
Right.
made it up in my mind that whatever I put my hands on, I was going to turn it around. And I gained about 30 pounds, barricaded myself in a room. I started back working out. I totally transformed my body. I started a boot camp while on dialysis. I would work out in the morning. I would have a group of people in the gym, and I ran a boot camp in the evenings after dialysis. So I worked out 2 to 3 times a day while on dialysis. And the nurse that was actually in charge of the building, she was my client in the evening. I was her patient in the morning.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Can I show that picture?
Yes, yes.
That this is the picture here.
Yep.
Oh
That
wow.
that Superman shirt. Uh-huh. And I
Oh wow.
transformed. Yeah, and I'm glad you showed it, because when I say it, I don't think people grab the magnitude of it. That picture with the Superman shirt where I'm laid back on the couch, that
This
is a
one.
picture of me being depressed, just not knowing if I'm coming or going. And to look at that picture, and man, I get teary eyed because I know it was nothing but the grace of God that brought me through that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that was this was your heaviest that you've ever been before
Yes.
at that time.
Hmm.
Wow. And so how long through the whole workout time, how long did it take you to get back to your natural weight and get back to your normal size?
Well, actually, probably about 4 months. Probably about
Okay.
4 months. I was back to weight, but from that
Mhm.
4 month period up until the transplant, I was just chiseling, or like refining or whatever. But
Mhm.
I totally committed myself to what I was doing. And about 4 months, it's like people saw me one day. If you didn't see me for the next 3 or 4 months and you saw me again, you was
What happened?
like, wow.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so during this time of your dialysis, like how many medications were you on at this time? Because you're doing dialysis, you're taking medication, you are working out, and so what was your regimen like for your medicine?
I was on 16 to 17 medications a day. Some of those twice a day.
Wow,
Yes.
wow, yeah. See, people just don't imagine that you got to take 16 pills a day or 30 something pills a day.
Right.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
you got to do that in order to live. You got to do that, which is also again why it's so important for you all to get checked out. So, here mm, the happy place now is you have your health back together. You have a healthy, loving family, and now you are shaking up the world with your motivational speaking, right? So, well, let me ask this first. Now, since you've had it, what are you down to now with your medications, just in case somebody's wondering?
I'm down to 6.
Okay. Okay. So now
Yeah.
we're down to six. Medicaid. It's better than 16.
Right. I
Which
mean, to
is,
say somebody might be saying, "Wow, 6 medications," but I was
yeah,
at 16 or 17,
yeah. So
so it's
that's
necessary.
good. I
Yeah.
think I take those and vitamins because I'm just
Yeah.
trying to make sure I know I don't get this coronavirus. I need
Right.
probiotics and multivitamins. Listen, I take six a day myself if I'm just trying to keep, stay healthy and getting ready to go back to this, world of teaching. But I just wanna thank you so much. And if people are trying to just trying to make it through and think that all is lost, guys, please look at Mr. Reynaldo. Alexander, because his life is a true testimony. And I want you all to be able to, to see him. Like, he has so many things going that's happening. Can you share with us what is Encouraged by Ray?
Yeah. And encouraged by Ray is actually under the umbrella of Ronaldo Alexander Motivations. So,
Okay.
encouraged by Ray was actually built during the most difficult times and moments of my life. The things
Mm-hmm.
that almost destroyed me became the things that identified me to my real self, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. So the thing that almost destroyed me actually introduced me to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to just extract little power nuggets, what I call, from the hardest time to my life. Just extract nuggets, tell my story, and I found out that the more I told my story, the more lives I impacted. And I have testimonies literally from all around the world where people said they was on the verge of suicide for different reasons, and when they heard my story, they were inspired to live and to give it another shot and to give God a try. So
Mm-hmm.
that was like, that's a humbling experience. So when I received the kidney transplant on my birthday, that was all I needed. That was my stamp of approval, and I knew from that
Mm-hmm.
moment on, it's we're gonna impact the world. We're gonna inspire people all over the world. That's what it is. That was everything I needed to know to authenticate who I was
Mm-hmm.
and who I am.
Wow. Wow. That is just amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And people are commenting, "Hey, Steve, we see you too, brother. We see you too." And Maxine Ross is again giving up those praying hands. And we actually had a question from Alex. He says, "Can you ask if the military helped him with the medical at all? Did I guess with you being a veteran, were you able to?" um, receive any kind of benefits from the military?
Okay.
I don't know if you can answer that.
Yeah. So I was actually okay. I was actually on 3 different transplants because of the regions. Louisiana had one region. Across the state line over Dallas area was a different region. So there was 2 transplant lists I was on. And being that the military, I went to the VA, they were my primary care. They have their own transplant list. So the
Okay.
VA actually, the transplant came from the VA, and yeah, they've taken care of everything as far as from the transplant, paying for dialysis, everything. They've taken care of everything, and I did not know what was going on while I was in the military, but now the more information I know that the situation had been going on while I was in. So I'm in the process of trying to learn how to connect the dots to where I possibly can get compensated for, because I was misdiagnosed. Now I know that some of the effects of kidneys not functioning properly is your body itch and you scratch. Well, that was happening to me, and they said I had eczema. So they gave me
Yeah.
eczema medication. I've never been, and the only reason I stopped taking it then is because it made me sleepy, right? And I would
Mm,
use the bathroom, and I had like a lot of bubbles in my urine. I know I was spilling protein then. So a lot of things
mm,
was going on then that I wasn't aware of, that I know now through information that it was going on.
mm. Y'all better listen up now. Listen,
Yeah.
listen, take heed. because he drops some nuggets. And I mean, I don't know if you all have seen him in rare form, but this brother is deep, and he definitely motivates you. And he just gives you some really, really good nuggets. And after what he has experienced, if you don't believe in God, I don't know what you believe in, because this was such a profound story for somebody to actually confess, yeah, I was at my lowest. So to be able to do that, man, that was awesome. If anyone has any other questions for Mr. Ray, and let me tell you again how you can find him if you're looking for him, especially on Facebook. If you would go to Find Your Will to Survive, I put it down here. I put the link down here. Go and follow him, and his shows is on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. All right. So his show's on Tuesday nights. And you all please follow him, because he found his wheel. All right. He found his will to survive. And I need you to keep finding yours no matter what you're going through. I see the numbers keep going up. I'm super excited about that. And again, while I have you all on here, you know, just so that you all know, 6,442 people received a kidney in 2018. I know if you all knew that, but man, that is a lot. And if you don't know, typically 3 to 5 years is the average waiting time for a kidney from a deceased donor. So if you're waiting for a living donor, or looking for a living donor, ask the people in your family, see if they will do that. Know that now you just can't go and say, well, give me your kidney. Your blood type matters, your height matters, your weight matters, all of that matters. So you can't be unequally matched. Like, you definitely have to match. And all of those things are very, very important. And thank you, Steve. Steve said your show is on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. So, you know, such a producer there, such a producer. And thank you, Rod. Rod said, true warrior, praying. He is also a kidney. I'm sorry. He's also a heart transplant recipient. So I appreciate all of you all watching and sharing, guys. Please share this show. And do not forget my special announcement. I got to make sure I find it now. We are having a transplant talk virtual telethon on August 29th. And we are raising funds for the Gabriel House here in Jacksonville, Florida. And the Gabriel House is a transitional house for people that have just received a transplant, and they come from out of town. So they're out of, maybe out of state, or they don't live in Jacksonville or the surrounding areas, and they afford people the opportunity to stay there. It costs maybe $40 a day, or $1,000 or $1,200 a month. So if you all would please support the virtual telethon. Never seen one done before. Okay, it's your girl. She has to do it. I gotta do it. God put so much on us, and when He gives you an assignment, then when He said, "Nashonda, go," then Nashonda has to go. Hi, Carol. That's my sister. Yes, you have to be ready. So again, from 4 to 9, we are doing it. We're teaming up with all of these different organizations about transplant. So I'm super exciting. Yes, Steve, because you're gonna be on the show, and I'm gonna try to get Ray back on here too, just so that we are able to spread the love, share, and joy. I'm gonna do what my daddy say, don't hold me long. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I think if that is all the questions, please register to become an organ donor.
Yes.
Tune in next week where I have another special guest. So I might really need to be working on this telethon. But I do appreciate you all. Thank you, Mr. Ray, for being with me. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. I really do appreciate it. So oh, it's my brother. I love you too, big bro, Elijah. Thank you. Thank you all so much. So Mr. Ray, do you have any final words? Oh, I forgot. Did you ever meet your recipient? Did you ever
No,
meet your donor family?
no,
You,
I
you
haven't.
planning on doing that?
Yes, I've reached out through the VA, but they haven't, responded. So it's one of them things where, it's basically left up to them.
It's
Yeah.
sensitive
So
too. Like we know,
yeah,
it's a very sensitive subject,
right.
to talk about. So listen, now y'all gonna not have me cry on my show. I be trying to be real, real big girl, on here, and my daughter be like, "Mama, don't you do it." So I love you too, Kara, and tell my brother Griffin, hello, my Solomon Griffin. Hello. So thank you all. We're gonna end this broadcast now. Again, look out for Transplant Talk virtual telethon coming again August 29th from 4 to 9. Guys, thank you all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.